What's up, guys? So this is where we are now, and if you watched our last video, you know that we have made it to the water, and we've got some final projects before we make a passage up to Tampa for the holidays, so we're just hammering those out right now. One of those projects that I'm doing right now is right here. It's the Navpod Install. We're going to be installing the Garmin chart plotter and the Renogy autopilot, and it's going to be right here at the helm, and eventually we're going to have wind instruments here as well. So we're really excited about this Navpod. I know where your instruments are is a little bit of personal preference, but for me and Randy, we want everything right here at our fingertips. Randy's down below with a poopy job. She's installing the holding tank.
It's not so poopy since it's never been used.
Oh yeah, it's brand new, so
yeah.
It's nice. She's already installed all the plumbing for the head, all the way up to that holding tank. So that's the last piece of the puzzle there. She just has to install that, and then we'll be able to poop aboard. So I've got the Navpod like half installed already. You can see that it's already screwed into the angle guard there. I had to basically drill and tap some holes and then drill these holes for the wiring. Now the next thing is to basically fish some wire through these holes and then mount the Garmin and the Renogy in those holes that are already pre-cut on the front panel there. So let's do that. Alrighty guys, so I've got power on one side going down, and then I've got NEMA on the other. So hopefully I won't have to add anything soon, but I think for now basically just my chart plotter, and this is for the transducer to go to the chart plotter. It's going to connect into the NEMA backbone. I think this is all I'm going to need. This is all a work in progress. We're probably going to be doing some rewiring very soon. We do have the radar, you know, up there on the mast, and that's not going to be wired to the Garmin yet. I've never set up a NEMA backbone before, and I've literally just, you know, kind of researched like what it is in the past couple days. This is all very, very new to me. We've always just had, you know, I guess lower end Garmins, and now that we've got a higher end Garmin, it's NEMA, so now I've got to learn NEMA. But I'm sure I'll be redoing this. All I care about is getting the Garmin functioning on the Navpod, and I want the transducer. We have a triducer basically. It's temp, speed, and depth. I want that communicating with the Garmin. As long as I have that, I'm happy for now. And then we can figure everything else out later. I've got these all butylled up. Well, actually the Garmin is using its own little foam for, you know, waterproofing, and then the Renogy autopilot, I use butyl tape. Probably gonna be removing it at some point, so I don't want to do anything too permanent, but it's all set up. This is nice and waterproof, so let's put it together. So there you have it. This is our new Navpod setup with our chart plotter and the autopilot, which really the autopilot's not working right now, so it's just there because. But this, I'm gonna get hooked up to power into the NEMA backbone and get the transducer working so we can at least get depth, speed, and water temperature, as well as charts. But pretty happy with the way this is. Just like everything on this boat, it's a work in progress. We're gonna be adding wind instruments here probably. We might also add like a USB charger or something. I think we'll have room. But I like having all of this right here at the helm. Very excited about it. And I wanted to thank Navpod again for working with us on this deal. I'm actually really happy with this so far. One thing I noticed that was actually pretty cool is that the screws that, as you can see, that they close the box together and clamp it down together. They're like a weird Allen wrench with like a little knob in the middle. You can't fit a normal Allen wrench in there. You need like a hollow Allen wrench, which is kind of special, and I think it adds a little more security. I'm gonna get the last few screws in this Navpod box and gonna turn on the GPS for the first time and see if we can get that transducer working and calibrated. I have no idea what the water depth is, but we'll try to figure that out.
We just cast off from the dock right there. We are making our way out of the canal.
Yeah.
Jordan's following a little handwritten set of directions because the canal here is pretty difficult. I know on the Charlotte Harbor thing it said to go past their lift and then make a sharp.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing. Sharp.
But the water is just glass today. We have had a few sprinkle type showers come through.
Do you guys notice any sound, anything
I wonder
lacking?
if it picks it up. It's just very faint.
Should be able to hear it now.
Yeah, he cranked it up for you.
So now that we are kind of on open water, I wanted to give you guys an update. Our GPS speed is 2.7 knots, and we are drawing 12 amps right now, and we're putting in another amp and a half via the solar. So we have total 300 amp hours at 48 volts. Now everything I'm talking about right now is at 48 volts. Theoretically, at this speed, 3 knots about, in our current situation, we have 300 divided by 12. We can do this for 25 hours, technically, theoretically, on paper. At this speed, we should get out of here and we should have like 80% battery left, or maybe even 90%. Like, we should have more than enough battery to get out of here, provided nothing goes wrong, because this is the first major test. So. But on paper, everything's looking good. If I had to have a power boat, it'd be like that.
Slow ride. Electric Yacht.
You're a dork.
We're back on the water. We're going 3 knots.
If you follow us on Instagram, you got a little teaser, and we put the engine on full out, and we were going 6.8 knots. What were we going?
6 knots.
6 knots. And we were using 180 amps.
Yeah, that was full on out. I don't want to do it again because I did feel a little bit of a vibration. We might need to do, somewhat of an alignment. We might need to do somewhat of an alignment at some point. But at 3 knots, there's no vibration, so we're gonna keep it here. Just go nice and slow out of the lock, and then start sailing. Alrighty, guys, we're on the water.
It's a beautiful thing. Feels amazing, honestly. Wow, 9.5 feet. It's really deep here.
Randy's taken to being at the helm for the final leg of the canal. Batteries are doing good, motor's doing good. We're almost out. Pretty good first water test for the motor, right?
Yeah, I'm really excited.
We're sailing!
There goes something inside. We are sailing. Now, unfortunately, you might notice our jib up there, storm jib, is not our new sail. FedEx has done us wrong. Again, we are not big fans of FedEx.
Our precision sail is stuck at FedEx right now, so we are sailing to Tampa on an old storm jib. But we'll be alright.
We're going currently, woo, look at that, 5.5 knots. That was crazy. So yeah, we are under sail.
Helm's pretty balanced, everything. It feels good.
This is exciting. It feels so strange to say we are under sail. We haven't been on the water in so long.
So just a battery status update, guys. We did 3 knots all throughout that canal. I think the canal is around 10 nautical miles or so. And our batteries were at 85% when we got out of there. So they're currently charging at about 2 to 3 amps, even in this cloudy weather. We don't have any regen on the motor right now. I don't know why. I'm gonna have to call Electric Yacht and see what I'm doing wrong. But for now, it doesn't matter because we have enough solar. We don't really need the regen. So that's it. We're just enjoying our first sail.
Beautiful sail. Feels amazing.
Yeah, we haven't sailed in, I feel like, almost a year now.
I know, it feels like forever.
It's been
Let's think. Gosh, when did we get in the boat to the yard? It was either March or April.
We got the boat to the yard in March, I believe.
March, so it's getting close to a year.
Yeah.
9 months.
Almost a year. I mean, we were living in the yard for 6 months, and we hadn't sailed at all while we were in the yard because we were just focused on actually getting out of the yard. But now we're on the water. Man, it's nice. We're not on a schedule anymore. We don't have to pay rent to anybody if we don't want to.
That's the best part. Tired of paying to stay places.
Yeah, I mean, and as if you guys watched our last video, is like our liveaboard fees were doubling at the yard, so it just made no sense to be there if we didn't have to. And we got all the below the waterline stuff done that we needed done, and now we're out of here, and even though the boat's still a project, we're out here, we're sailing, we're moving it to where we need it to go, and then we're gonna hit the Bahamas hopefully in January and just continue to work on the boat work in exotic places, I guess. But at least we could do a project one day, and then the next day we can go scuba diving, snorkeling, kiteboarding, and just go from there. Cruise, living the cruising lifestyle now.
Pretty sweet.
Yeah, this feels good. Look at the water. It's not a boatyard. There's no one around us.
Yes. And we're going 5 knots right now.
And we're going 5 knots. Life is good, and we're not using any power. Actually, we're generating power with those bad boys. It's awesome.
Those good boys, we should say.
Yeah, those good boys. Those good boys. So we're just sitting out here sailing, and this is obviously a racer over here because he's doing all these crazy maneuvers trying to get over to us and making Randy nervous. But then he pulls up next to us and he's like, "I watch your YouTube," and there he is. So Randy's just holding course and he's taking pictures of Freebie. It's pretty cool. I'm gonna get some shots of him too. His name's Tom. Apparently he's got a YouTube channel as well, so we'll link it down below if we can figure it out. He's gonna, oh, I'm gonna trip. We don't have lifelines on the boat yet, so I'm being careful.
Trusting that he doesn't crash into it. That's gonna be an awesome shot.
So we're gonna do all the stereotypical sailing vlog things, and one of those stereotypical sailing vlog things is to film the dolphins. They're following us right now. All right, just kidding. They heard me. I'm just gonna sit here and smoke my victory cigar. Except I can't actually, because I don't do this very often. There we go. Yeah. Victory cigar. Wind kind of died down a little bit. We did end up reefing the sails a bit. We were doing really good, going about 5-6 knots. Now we're going about like 3.8. I don't care. I'm gonna leave the sails reefed and we're just relaxing. Sun's coming out over there. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Making progress back to Tampa. No engine.
Radio check, Charlotte Hopper.
Closing out the day, sailing into our anchorage for the night. As you can see, Randy's already got a jump start on sleeping.
I've got it right and I got it wrong, but I learned my lesson hanging on. Come sit here.